my mic into a position. Why don't I have this microphone up top? I don't even know. I need to get one of those arms, which I actually should buy one for my brother because he asked one for his as his Christmas present. Okay, so right now I want to move all of the creation stuff for this level into another class. So I have the player class working. What I need to do now is move the level creation, file import, all that good stuff into the main class. And I want to make sure I'm not really loading up the files that I don't need. So that's what's on my plate. That's what I'm going to be working on. Okay, I wanted to put some music on, actually. Just for myself. Okay. Class. So DTC. Level. Okay, so this is. Yeah, level ascension. I think that's how we spell ascension. Oh god. Ascension. Not less. No. Ascension. Yes. Yes, I did. Nice. Okay. Not a total idiot. So let's finish this up. Ah, this naming convention. I really wish I could use underscores for class stuff, which I can, but then I have to rename all of that shit. And that's not cool. Okay, that's fine. I can rename stuff here, so problem is the rest of the code would have to be renamed if I do that. Anyways. What if I do this? Can I... probably not a good idea. Template CPP will stay here, and I'll move this stuff over here. Hias, welcome back. How's it going? What did you? Also, I just realized the soundtrack for this game was playing when I thought it wasn't. Oh well. I'll just turn that out a little bit. Okay, so first of all, I need to declare some stuff here. It's gonna be public functions. Okay. Soundtrack is crisp quality. This is the one of the soundtracks for this game, and I need to write more soundtracks still. Yeah. Okay. Void build level, and we'll return nothing. Okay. In here, we've got void build level, and this will be the contents of that function. Go away. Go away. Go away. Come on. Function definition not found. Oh yeah, that's right. Probably want to save. And hey, nice. You guys have KFC? Yep, we got KFC. Tastes like shit though. I'd much rather prefer like Mary Brown's or Chuck's Famous Chicken. Okay. So I need another one. Void clean up level. So the thing is, since this is going to be a multi-mode game, I'm going to have to create the building function and the cleaning function. So basically what happens is with the building function, we'll load up all of our images, we'll load up all of the models, all of that good stuff, all of the textures, sounds for that particular game mode / level. And when we exit that game mode, when we switch to another one, we need to run the cleanup so that we'll unload and delete all of the objects. Now, AGK load object. Okay, load object. Now there's gotta be delete point light. Interesting. Delete object, okay. Ah, deletes all objects created within ID. This is really cool. Deletes all objects created within ID. So if I load up an object pylon, then if I created like 50 instances, I think I can use this in order to delete all of those instances instead of doing it one by one. So this is kind of cool. Okay, gotcha. And I was actually surprised. I've moved all of the player functions into its own file, because this entire thing has gotten like pretty clunky. We were at about 3,000 lines of code, and this was just one game mode, right? So 2 more game modes plus main menu plus story mode. That's gonna be a good giant fucking piece of work there. So instead of running all this code, I'm creating class files, which will be running this stuff for us. And This way, if I want to edit some player stuff, I don't have to be looking for the player code in the main code. And I can just find the stuff just by clicking the class file. Of course, it's going to be over 9,000. But anyways, I see we're already doing remove level 1 stuff. This would have to be located in the in this thing here. See, all of the stuff's got to be moved. So let's start with player, not player, but variables. Things like glowing, pylon array. This is all very specific to this particular level. So let's start moving this shit out of here. Variables. Isn't half of the code able to reuse for other modes? Yes, there's the player code, which I've already moved to its own header file. That code I'm going to be reusing in multiple places, and I can add stuff to the code, like additional abilities to the player depending on which level we're in, right? The networking stuff could probably be reused. So, like the player positioning stuff. Which is really going to be... It's going to be combined into one single header file. And then a function which I can send which game mode is in. And the networking will do the stuff for me. Thank the Lord for copy paste. Yep. Oh man. Okay, so let's start this off. Recreate render terrain. Let's start from the top. So window width, window height, this is general stuff, can stay here. Debug print can stay here. Temporary object count, this is a temporary variable. I actually don't know where exactly I'm using it. Okay, so this was used for debugging. Debugging of this particular level, wasn't it? Debugging variables. I want to keep this stuff clean. This is the cleanup stage, the great move, as I call it. Debugging prints can stay here. This, however, needs to move. Next up, client server stuff can stay here for the moment. Player clients ID stuff can stay here. Update clients can stay here. Fade rate. This is a tricky one. There's fades in pretty much any level out there, realistically. So I probably want to keep this stuff, like the core mechanics, like fading. I probably want to keep this stuff in here. Your dogs are barking and it's driving you crazy. Why are your dogs barking? Okay, fade rate. Terrain key. Yeah, there we go. Here's the stuff. Generation. Music can stay here. Environment. Ooh, skybox. Yeah, that's for this level. There's not gonna be... It's gonna be either a different skybox or no skybox in the other one. Skybox rotation, lift stretch, pylon rotation, test box, pylon 1, 2, 3, 4, level transfer box. Don't even need the level transfer box. Yeah, this stuff doesn't even exist. Don't need this. Okay, so let's move. Let's see. Got some shaders here. Fog shader, flow shader, which I'm not using anymore because the engine has that stuff built in. Yeah. So no need to load this stuff. No need to read this stuff. So from here to enter credits. Okay, interesting. Not sure what the shift, enter. What am I using this stuff for? Enter key. Wait, what was it? Load object, new game object, credit object. What the fuck? Oh, that's the okay, these are, yes, these are objects, 3D object variables. Okay, got it, got it. Scores, Ascension background. Yeah, okay. Dead stage message alpha dead. This is all. Yeah, I could probably code in a custom dead screen for the other. The story mode's gonna have a different one for sure. Stage timer, SPR block, black dead. Inserted pylon select, target pylon, range, height, spawn area pylons, right? Pylon, integer block amount, block array, pylon size, and glowing stuff. Pylon array pointer. Yeah, right. Blur images, blur. Okay, blur stuff is a bit different. Blur would have to be on its own. So this stuff needs to be moved here. Look at those red dots. Errors! Errors everywhere! Okay, well this is technically one same screen, so there's only half the errors. Alright. Generate pylon stuff. This is just the declaration of the function. So this is where I have to be careful, because if I transfer the function if I transfer this function to the header file and forget to put it in, that is going to cause a lot of headache. A lot of headaches. So all these functions for generation of the terrain need to be promptly taken out of here, moved right in here. Now, before I forget, let's see, generate pylons. So I need to find every single function, and before I do that, in fact, I need to create that object right at the where I had the player object created. Where was it though? Dream, temple, Oh yeah, and I should include the file I just created. So, level ascension. Okay, here we go. This is where we created the player file. Create the level ascension level object. Now I'm gonna have to probably move this stuff once I get the main menu, because I don't think I need to create these objects quite yet. But now that I have this thing, all I need to do is I need to do this plus that and end it with that. Cut it out of there. And right. DTC level ascension CPP. See, this is object LVL ASC ASIN for ascension. Okay. Alright, now I gotta shuffle some stuff around. So any place I asked to generate pylons, I have... No, come on. What are you doing? Fucking hell. Okay. You. Copy, cut, you. At the end of you, put this here, for example. So now we need to address the object, and only within it I need to use that function. Now I'm gonna put some other music on. Let's see. Let's play some of these things from the album. I'm gonna get so many copyright strikes once I drop this album. Okay, now it's complaining because it doesn't see this function. So void void cleanup void. Okay. And of course in here I gotta go DTC level ascension. Good thing I'm doing this. I'm gonna have to get used to this stuff. So there you go. And this thing should stop complaining now. Any moment. Any moment now. Any moment now. Generate. Oh, this is generate pylons. What the fuck am I doing? Oh, it is generate pylons, so it should be fine. So let me just do this then. 286 errors. Whoa. Okay. To be expected. All to be expected. Alright. Oh, it's not DTC player. Fucking hell. Yeah, that's right, because I copied the wrong thing. Object LVL. CPP. OBJ. Level ascension. There we go. this is what I need to be replacing the thing with. What's next? I did this thing. That's right. I'd have to replace it later on. No, don't compile. You're not gonna be successful.
Okay.
What's the next? No. Ah, you son of a bitch. Okay. Generate pylons. There's this thing. What's next? Generate pylons, and that is it. Whoa, 442 errors. Yay. Oh, this is great. Okay, I need to include... Watch, half of the errors are gonna go away now. Template.h. First of all, I reckon the same thing needs to be done here. Probably. Also include why don't I just include all of these? String, vector, yeah. Okay. Well, this thing is not complaining anymore, so that's nice. $182 errors from 442. Seems pretty good progress. Blur image, blur quad. That should be okay. This stuff, very generic stuff. Generate terrain, gotta be moved. Generate terrain, which is actually the default piece. So in here, let's not forget our prefix. Then take this thing. Put it up here. Void, don't return anything. Void, don't provide anything. Identifier unidentified. Oh, okay, so probably don't need to. Hey, okay, so if it's inside of its own thing, it doesn't need to be called. That's nice. Now, however, level ascension generate terrain will have to be located, because now I gotta do CPP oh no, Dream Temple class No, not Dream Control, guys. CPP OBJ level ascension. Generate terrain, and it's not complaining anymore. Beautiful. Any more? No more. So that's good. Now, I'd have to ask something on Reddit. Something about the C++ variables. Okay, so I think this is actually a question I gotta ask on the forum by the looks of it. here we go. We'll get an answer from that. Anyways. Build level is where we start loading up our assets. Let's see. Skybox. Textures, except for the dead textures. More textures, apparently. Sounds like the kids are getting picked up. There we go. Shader stuff can be global, I think. We're down to 2 errors. Well, okay, that would be wrong because we're down to 2 errors of the level ascension thing. So this is just me having to move this stuff. Now, what do I have here? Remove pylons. Oh yeah, where am I calling the build level function actually? Level building function, so it still creates the level right at the beginning, at least for testing.
Hellish crimes.
Jenko, how's it going? What's up? I'm moving stuff to header files because I figured out how to do that.
Hellish crimes.
There you go. Use your time and abilities to the max. You still haven't told us why you've been banned from the PC usage by your parental units. That would be interesting to know. Okay, so this is the function where everything else, all the stuff that constantly keeps getting updated, has to come in. I told you it's because they think I won't be able to sleep. Really? Is there like no cutoff time? Like, instead of actually telling you, it's like, it's you know, 10 o'clock, that's it, gotta call it a night. They're just like, no, we'll just take it away, because there's no way in hell he can do other stuff. Oh, man. It's like, fine, if you don't want me to be on my computer and developing my skills, I'll go do drugs. Just do that. You walk into the kitchen and say that. They will give your computer back. It's like, oh no, it could get way worse. Fucking hell. I mean, okay, if they took away your computer because you've been playing games all day long, then yeah, shit. But, you know, this is like actual skill building. In the world where digital media is... Whoa. What the fuck just happened? Okay, my other computer just blacked out for a second, so I'm like, anyways, in the world where the digital media is growing more and more prominent, skills like yours become very demanded. So, I mean, explain this to them. Really? You only get your computer privileges on weekends? Wow. Okay, well, okay. There is a way to address it, to be honest. If you can show them that you can do proper time management, and you can promise them you can actually keep it, then I'm sure they'll work with you, right? Just, you have to make them see that you can manage your time well. This kind of sucks. Yeah, well, I mean, at least try to explain to them that, you know, these are skills that you want to work on. You know, tell them, you know, you found these groups where they're really helpful in learning programming and art and, well, programming and digital media and game development and whatnot. I'm sure if you explain it, they should understand. You gotta stress the point that it's not for gaming, because as far as I know, parents will just think it's all for gaming. Right, so I mean, you have arguments. It sounds to me like they just don't know what you do. They just assume you play games all along, which this is the point where it's a misunderstanding and you have to make it clear, because if somebody doesn't speak out, you're just gonna keep sitting in that misunderstanding, right? It's important. Have to make a PowerPoint. If you have it on paper, that should work out just fine. Oh, God. It is safe for me to actually take all of this stuff out of here and move it, like literally just replace this, and this is going to be the CPP OBJ level ascension dot update. And if I move this, like starting from here, all the way to the beginning of this thing, technically, I will be done moving this entire level over. Okay. This is what happens when you code everything on one single screen. So take this out of here. Put that in there. Oh look, this entire game is suddenly only 500 lines. Oh god. Main loop and what do we have? Uh-oh. Shit. Ah, fuck's sakes. Graphics driver. Excuse me. Come on. There we go. Okay. And of course it moved all of this shit on the this screen. a very, very level specific thing. Environment, Skynight. Same deal. Raw player startups, setup script. Yep. Full screen shaders. Shader stuff, I believe. Very specific. Sprite colors, meshes, textures. Yeah, sorry. I turn out the music sometimes. Also, there's an angry doggo outside of my room now. Sprite color. Yep, this is from the second album that I'm going to be releasing 2018. It's already been prepaid, so all that's left is to finish up on some of this music, and we'll be good to go. This is the music that I want to get out and start performing. So how many errors do we have here? 162. No, you gotta travel the kilometers to reach your dreams, okay? Nobody uses miles anymore. It's a dead form of measurement, unit of measurement. Window width is undefined, window height is undefined, update clients is undefined. Alright, so now I just gotta go through these things. Which realistically, let's see. Where's half of this stuff located? I'm an American K. I can use whichever measurement I want. Sure. That's why you guys did the calculations in feet, but programmed the Mars lander in meters, and the fucker plummeted into the planet. That's what happens when you do whatever you want. Couple $1 billion. Prime example. Is there actually a function for Visual Studio? Go to top of function. Jump to beginning of function. Double press on the white line. Really? Ah. Oh no, that folds this thing up. Oh, okay, I see. Well, that works, I guess. see, this network stuff is gonna have to move out. But we'll deal with that afterwards. Kirk, welcome. How's it going? How's your day so far? Pretty good. I'm starting to work on some optimization and moving some stuff around into files of their own. A topic I have briefly touched and is now coming in pretty damn handy. Fuck, I can't speak right now. Just need to post this question, make sure I get some answers. I've owned AGK ever since, I think, 2014, and I've worked on a project in BASIC. On this project actually, which is, it's a co-op networking platformer. And now I decided to continue working on the project since I got it working in 2015. And I figured I'd move to C++ this time. So, you know, fun little platformer. I'm going to be adding different game modes like, you know, tag, hide and seek, prop hunt type of deal. You know, fun stuff. So realistically, I've only been working with AGK in under a year, but I've been doing game development for a much longer time. It's a really good engine, I have to say. Even though you have access to things like Unreal Engine, this I'm actually using as an excuse to learn C++ and learn the works of Visual Studio. Yeah, it actually has online functional multiplayer. So I can play, like if I send the game to somebody, they can connect to me and we can play together. Which is, that is an achievement to me, because I never thought I would be doing networking with AGK, a purely code-based game engine. That just blew my mind. And I just did that yesterday. And have a video up on it. Either on my YouTube, or you can find it on the Game Jolt for this Game Jolt page for this game. Ah, man. Okay, so since there's gonna be multiple game modes, I decided to move some stuff around into external files and finally organize it, because I had about a good 3,000 lines of code here, and I need to kind of move some stuff around. And there's certain things that will be reused in different game modes, like the story mode will reusing the player navigation and movement and whatnot. You know, fun stuff. What about you? Do you do any game development? Software developer by trade, but it's just a commercial. Android apps and ASP.NET. I see. Alright. Well, that's nice. You got, hopefully you're making a living doing the, what you love. Unless you don't love doing commercial Android apps and ASP.NET. In which case, welcome to game development. A new hobby. To be honest, I'm really learning C++ here so that I can start doing stuff in Unreal Engine using C++, because Unreal Engine runs with C++ in Visual Studio, and the first time I tried to start a project with C++, I did not know what the hell was going on. It was pretty damn rough. You should check out Leadworks Engine. Might be a good stepping stone. I did. I actually purchased Leadworks Engine once when it was on sale, like literally a week ago on Steam. But it uses the Lua programming language for programming, and I was like, I can't really reuse that anywhere else, right? I would much rather, you know, go with C++, because that's not only a multi-platform generic language, it's in AGK, which is an engine I own, and in whatchamacallit, in something else. You need the pro version of Leadworks for C++. Really? It does support C++? Well, see, once again, that's because I didn't really read the product description because I bought it. I just bought it as an impulse purchase, and then I just refunded it right away. To be honest, I've spent the money elsewhere. But I figured, you know what, I've got Unreal Engine. And Unreal Engine is, to me, by far a much more suitable solution than Leadworks, an engine I've never worked with, versus Unreal, with which I have worked with, right? So there's no sense in going back to that one yet. Plus, AGK is multi-platform, so that's nice. I also work in Game Maker Studio, which has its own proprietary language, but it's very similar to C++. You know, if it ever goes on sale, thanks for letting me know that it actually supports C++. So if it ever goes on sale, what is a pro version actually? What do you mean? What do you mean you need a pro version? Was the stuff that was on sale on Steam not a pro version? Also, there's something called the Leadworks 2, isn't there? Is that the second rendition? I'm pretty sure I bought the first one. Anyways, this is the stuff that I need. Oh man, I'm about to break so much stuff here. No. Oh man. It's a DLC on Steam which just unlocks C++. Really?
1, 2, 1, check.
Let's see. Come out any day now. Okay. Leadworks. Come on. Oh, works. With an E, huh? Alright, what do we got? Downloadable content. Professional edition, is that it? Wait, so what the fuck is this? That's $100 plus another $100 for this thing? Okay, well, I mean, Leadworks Professional already works in Unreal and in Visual Studio, so I mean, at this point, AGK can already do this. The only thing that AGK doesn't come with is its own level editor, like you got with this stuff. But to be honest, you can just code your own, and it's not really it's not gonna take too long. You can code your own in the same style as Unreal Engine, which is something that I'm gonna have to do for this game. Write the game in Leadworks Pre-C++. Plus, I bought the Leadworks thing here for 20. So to unlock C++, I would have had to spend quite a bit more. So I ended up just saying fuck it, refund this thing, and I ended up buying a Substance Painter because that's gonna come in really useful. I think AGK works with Game Guru Editor now. Yes, you can actually import Game Guru level editor stuff, but once again, I'm not too fond of the Game Guru's top-down thing. It's very old school. And there's like conversion stuff, it spews out scripts, it's, you know, I would much rather just code my own that I'm comfortable with. And plus, you know, it's practice. Good practice. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm going to have to move a whole bunch of this stuff into somewhere else. Also, somebody followed me just a few seconds ago. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. Don't know who it was. Huh. Alright. There's stuff happening here. Nesting of different header files. Oh, that was you? Okay, nice. There was a different username on it, so I'm like, huh. What's going on? Anyways, okay, let's solve all the other stuff before moving into the networking fix-ups. Identifier player IDs undefined. That is incorrect. It should be player client's ID. Unless it's not. Aha, it's not. But those are networking errors. So let's move all the way down to see what it complains about here. CPP. Okay, so this doesn't have to be here anymore. Also, neither does this. Fade rate. Yeah, this stuff is in here. And let's move this somewhere down here. So you haven't been doing any game development, have you? Nothing to show? Nothing show-worthy, so to speak? Okay, window width. Oh yeah, I gotta post this question. Yeah, for sure. Educate is pretty damn versatile. Hey, apparently I reached 50 followers on Twitch. That's nice, and it gave me an achievement. Woo. Amazing. Yay! cue the Five Nights at Freddy's kid screaming. Yay! Oh man. When can you get subs? I don't know. I think you can only get subs if you're a partner. And I don't think I should be doing Twitch partnership, considering that I'm streaming to both YouTube and Twitch right now. And if you're a Twitch partner, they don't like that. But I do get people from a YouTube channel sometimes dropping in, so you know. If you want to contribute, I do have a Patreon that's specifically for that purpose. Same as my username. So yeah, it's a tricky thing. They don't like when people use when people stream to two platforms at once when they're not partners, or when they're partners. They're like exclusive content for exclusive website. Oh no, someone else actually did follow me. Okay, Tid. Yeah, it's besides you. So I was right. Oh man. Okay. Player client's ID is this thing. I really need to move this stuff. But this might get tricky pretty damn quick. Okay, let's try it out. So we're gonna go ahead and move the client server stuff. I'll see if we can set it up in a way that makes sense. Add class. Class wizard. Add a class. Here we go. That's what I need. Okay, so Dream Temple class net. Sure. So this is where stuff gets tricky. Okay. Let's declare our, or let's move our variables. So let's go ahead and kind of reuse the same space we've got here. So how did you end up finding the stream? Was it somewhere I posted, or directly on Twitch. So I always try to find better places to post about the live streams. Spread the word, so to speak. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay. So let's do this. Create host. Highest. What's up? So, yes, is there something you wanted to tell us? How did the negotiations go? I want my crackers, man. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna get apparently.
Hellish crimes. Hellish crimes. Hellish crimes. Hellish crimes. Hellish crimes.
Janko, how's it going? You seem to be dropping in and out. For the most part, you just drop in to say hi. I'm guessing the exams are getting the better of you. Hmm?
Hellish crimes.
Finally got and or not to convert between infix and prefix. They're murdering you. Unfortunately, I can't relate, because I don't know what those do. These streams aren't as interesting. Gee! You're implying that all game development is all interesting all the time. It's just flashing lights and explosions everywhere. Shame on you, Janko. Shame on you. This is me technically working right now, so yeah. And he left. He got offended. Okay. Oh yay, then the counter is broken again. The stream counter. That's great. But you see, I have to check. You leave me alone, man. And I don't know. I'd be talking for hours and hours on end, thinking you're just busy. Listen to the stream and scroll 9gag. Yep. Sounds like a valid pastime. Anyways, so I successfully transferred the player functions into its own header file. So the fact that that worked means that I can actually do the same for the levels. Oh yeah, YouTube doesn't count a viewer unless he's actually on the page, so I might be in the background and you can still have my tab open. YouTube is just gonna be like, oh, he's left. Hyas doesn't know what 9gag is. Oh no. Oh, we're about to get a new addict. Well, Hyas, go to 9gag.com and find out. Don't worry. It's nothing dirty. For the most part. Hi, yes. Be right back. Okay, come on. I can figure this out. So I think I need another function here. This is client input. Oh no. No, don't you dare. Don't you dare ban my people. Okay. So this is the entry. Out, put that in here. about to infix to prefix. I have no idea what you're talking about. I am not that advanced, unfortunately. So, your words are lost on me. It's just the order of how an expression is written. Peculiar. Okay. Prefix is referred to a Polish notation. Huh. You're gonna have to come up with a more practical example of what's and A and B means, because as far as I know, you can use and from my experience with programming controllers, you can use and in order to combine two binary 8-bit messages in order to weed out like the first half of the message would be used as like an ID of some sort, the second half would be used as another ID, and if you want to ignore the first one, you just and the first part to all zeros, and it will and that first part to zeros, and you're left with the second part, which you can then do comparisons to. That's what I know, that's what I've experienced with the AND function. Anyways. And gates. That's interesting. Debug Prince identifiers. Ugh. No, I don't understand this stuff using letters as, you know, examples. This does not compute in my head, right? It makes no goddamn sense. man. I wish you could make... How can you make a variable global in a way a class could access it without having to send it in a function? Jeez. Just imagine them as variables. I am imagining them as variables, and that's why it doesn't make sense. Like, okay, if you have variable A equals to false and variable B equals to true, will the result of their AND result in a false? Because the lower value would win, or the 0 would win, right? So if you have false, false, false and false, it would still make a false because two negatives don't make a positive, right? Am I getting it right? We'll see. Now you've lost me with the table. It's I'm sure when the time will come, I will understand. That time is, however, not right now, when I have another array of issues on my plate. Okay, so how about this? In this function, client description. What? Oh, okay. This is I'll do int this to false, just so that it stop. There we go. Okay, just so that it would stop complaining. I hardly think. Yeah, nobody can help me, man. Nobody freaking knows. Oh well, fuck it, whatever. Need to move this stuff to the CPP. So here's the server. No, server host. Create host. Right. It's not complaining yet. New student.groups. That looks like an educational paper, which I do not have time to read right now. I'll open it up in the background. It says page not found because, hold on a second. The no, the thing was cut off. That's why it's not found. Goddamn thing is cut off. No. Shut up. Yep, no, still page not found. It's not on my end. Anyways. So this creates a client. And yeah, okay, so not working stuff is is going to be a little bit crippled for the time being. Just a bit. Until I get this stuff to work properly. Now this is the Oh yeah. Do I have to create an object? What the hell? Yeah, probably. I'll check it out later. I mean, don't tell me I need to create no, I don't need to create multiple objects. What happens if I go up here and create an object dc net cpp object network DTC, and I need to include this. DTC net this So after I created that object, can I access it? So this CPP OBJ network, can I do that? Son of a bitch, no I can't. Identifier CPP object network is unidentified. Woo, okay. So if it's unidentified, then what function is this stuff located inside of? Level update. So in the level update here, if I include this, and in the level update I will include what does this represent actually? Can I do that? It's gonna give me an error, isn't it? Yes. Which means that ascension.h level update integer CPP object network identifier is unidentified. What the fuck? Maybe it's an integer. Okay, so apparently that that exists. So if I do that and that, is that gonna work? Expression must have class type. Oh man. Okay, C++, access object in another object. Too many arguments in function call. What do you mean too many arguments in function call? that's not gonna happen. Yeah, sure. How the hell do I access this thing? I mean, I could probably... Actually, what if I, Oh. Highest. Me? No. Far from it. Also, what the hell do you mean, what have I done? I'm trying to figure some stuff out. This is annoying. Daniel Sider says hello. How's it going? Highest posts a link, which I'm not gonna open. At least not for a while, because I'm engrossed in figuring this shit out. So level up. I need to send Wait a minute. No, that's not gonna work. Of course that's not gonna work. Why would that work? What seems to be the problem? Well, in C++, I have created an object that contains player variables, an object that contains the variables and triggers and code and whatnot for the current game mode, which has its own map, its own terrain, its own traversal stuff, its own triggers, and I have the object network. I have certain variables that are located in this object that I need this object to access. Like the network stuff has a couple of variables that I need to have accessed via in this object. It needs to access variables located in this object. And I'm trying to figure this stuff out. Is it possible to do it directly from this object? Do I have to go back up the hierarchy and do this stuff here so that I could send it back in there? Tricky. I'm using AppGameKit, but you know, the stuff I'm trying to figure out has nothing to do with the AppGameKit. Well, I tried. I tried. That's what I'm trying to figure out. GML and C#. Yeah, there you go. Maybe Reddit can help. Yes, but Reddit is full of professional idiots who, instead of seeing if it's possible doing this way, start yelling at me how terrible my solutions are, which I know they're not perfect. It's not where the question is. Just tell me if it's possible, if it's not possible. If it's not possible, find a different solution. This is what pisses me off about like asking questions on the internet. Instead of answering yes or no or maybe an example code, they'll go into the fucking lecture of why your entire method of thinking is wrong. It's hard getting, you know, competent help. I'm sure there's shitload of stuff you can learn. Not the question at hand. And I know I sound pretty ignorant right about now. But it's just stupid. GML is not a hard language to learn by far. It's pretty damn simple. I have a message. Right. That was the Reddit message, wasn't it? Well, at least you got something done. Small game is a small game, something you can put on a resume. Okay, so I have a feeling that's exactly what I'm gonna have to do. No, highest. Don't binge tutorials. You're not gonna learn anything. Trust me, you're not gonna learn a damn thing from the tutorials. You have to start with your own project, a small project. But the moment you start your own project, you'll start asking the right questions. And only when you practice code is when you actually learn, is when it sits down and settles in your head. You're not gonna don't even try. You're not gonna memorize it just by watching a tutorial. You might sort of understand stuff, but you're gonna forget it instantly, right? Okay, so this is a lot of variables to be parsing through. So, I mean, it feels like it feels like the is server should really be on the other side. So learn stuff when I need to learn it. You'll learn, well, it's not a way to go about learning stuff. It's just the way it happens, right? It's not like a philosophy. It's like, when the time comes, I will take care of it, right? Start working on a project and you'll start asking all the right questions. If you're working on a top-down shooter, it's an example I use all the time. If you're working on a top-down shooter, you're gonna ask, okay, how do I do player movement? You Google that on YouTube, guarantee you're gonna get a lot of tutorials on how to do top-down shooter movement. And then you go from that on. Client name. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, so technically, the networking stuff has to take place inside of the networking object. It has nothing to do with the level ascension. Right. So I should take is server and I should take is client. Okay, it's coming to me. It's coming to me. Where's the is client? Is client. Okay. Here we go. Come Where's the end of is client? God damn it. Oh, hey, here we go. Cut that out. And now I need to shove this into... Oof, okay, so this is going to be a tricky one because I need to distribute a lot of the stuff that's in here into its own panels. So I'll probably have to create... Wait, hold on. I have an update script, do I not? Okay, yeah, I should have an update script here. So we'll start with void Dream Temple class net net update void. We're not going to supply anything, not yet. Client input, client create host, and in here we're going to put in this thing. Now in the header file, void void why is this stuff here? This stuff should not be here. Here we go. Here we go. I'm surprised it didn't complain. It's not complaining now. Let me catch up on the active conversation that I have for once in my chat. Yes, so you learn as you go. Art is your own thing. I mean, Udemy tutorials help me later with the game maker, and music is made by the feeling of your game. Daniel is correct. Music and sound effects are usually the last stage in game development because the visuals drive the style of music. The music has to fit the visuals. There are some creative variations when you create a game around music, but it's a very stylistic choice, and it's like the whole game is usually based around that one concept. Happens a lot with like games that are synced to the music. Udemy, however, if you find classical tutorials, not like modern stuff, if you find classical tutorials, those are universally useful everywhere. And since I know that you do 3D modeling and stuff, if you find classical drawing tutorials on Udemy, like live drawing, definitely pick those up. I know Udemy sometimes has sales on that, and I should look into that stuff as well. Also make lessons of your mistakes. Biggest thing I learned first game, don't scope large. Yep. It's going to run your game into the ground and you're going to run out of energy. Make less necessary mistakes. Lastly, don't be afraid of scope small after your first game because your skills, base your skills on your game. Yeah. Or base your game on your skills. Audacity, I've got a mini recording studio and I've got tons of instruments I've collected over the years, so I make tracks by myself. Yeah, self-sufficient. Oh, that's awesome. Get those authentic beats. Live drawing. Live drawing is usually when you go to college. Live drawing is when a model comes into the studio and the model, male or female, start posing, and you do exercises like draw the pose in 5 minutes. Right? This is where you try to generalize as much as you can, no detail, explain or just emphasize on the important parts of the drawing, you know, try to suggest motion without putting too much detail in it. This is what live drawing is. You can do this stuff at home. There's plenty of live drawing resources on the internet as websites where it basically, it gives you many photographs, right? And it just flips through the different photographs at whatever pace you set, and then you just exercise. This is in fact the stuff you can actually do while you don't have a computer. I'm pretty sure most of that stuff can be done on either a laptop or a tablet, right? But live drawing is where you learn classical drawing, which is at the root of all the drawing out there, right? If you don't know the basics, you're gonna fuck up your whatever style you're trying to make, because everything stylized is based off of something real. Caricature, for example. Caricature is supposed to emphasize a whole lot of different features of the face. It emphasizes like some bumps, some like eyebrows. Like if you're making a drawing, a caricature drawing of some guy with like some big eyebrows, you will emphasize, make them huge, right? This is what caricature is, and it teaches you to pay attention to the important stuff. And no, not speed modeling. I'm not talking about 3D stuff. I'm talking about 2D drawing. Anybody who's going into modeling has to learn drawing first, right? You can't just start modeling stuff. Like, how do you model a rib cage? You have to look at a reference, right? You can't just think, oh, okay, you know, this, you know, kind of starts small, then wide, then small again. No, you need to base it off of the real thing, even if it's animated. The dog goes angry again. Anyways, fog and shadows. I don't need this, really. Realistically. Okay, 49 errors here. What do we have here? CPP. Ah, okay, so this is another thing. Sounds familiar. Okay, C++. Access variable of object declared elsewhere. External class object. Access variables external object. Issues declaring external class object. How to access variables in different class from other class. Hey, this sounds like it. 3 different approaches. Make B found Y, take an A object as a parameter. Find Y, no way. Is that what I can do? Make AX static. Ooh, can I? Can I make? Oh, no. Make B inherit from A. Class B. Oh, but that's what? Really? So you got class A, class B. Okay, so C++, send object ID. Passing object by reference in C++. This might be it. pretty sure I'm looking into some dead end stuff. Yeah, the inherit was just a make B find. I take an A object as a parameter. Really? I can do that. Constant A. Is that what it is? Okay, so where is the error? The error is right here, which is in level update. So level update, I need to send identifier A is not identified. Jeez. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Make x a static variable so that it's a variable on the class itself. You don't need to initiate objects in this case, but the variable will be common for all objects of type A, so you cannot have different values of x for different objects. Assuming, okay, that is interesting. Oh man. Usage frequency. I'm thinking also one of the finalized names for the game should be Atmosphere Down. think about marketability. It's kind of where it comes in pretty damn important. How marketable is your name? Think of the name Destiny. Destiny is a pretty damn marketable name. Function definition was not found. Right, because it's right over here. Or level update, I should say. What other variables is this thing complaining about? Technically, this thing should be inside of net update. What else? Right. Okay. What's next? What is next? Blur timer. Well, technically, this thing is not even supposed to be here. Blur timer is equals 0. Set render to screen. Target quad. This stuff. This stuff here belongs in the core game. Object player, update player, collision movement. Right. And because it belongs here, I'm gonna go ahead and put this stuff back in here. Level 1 stuff. Okay. And once again, window width, window height is being read. Do you have a Daniel? Do you have a page for your game? Actually, that'd be interesting to take a look at. Okay, so integer width, integer height. I know. You don't like it. Give me a second. So window W, window width, window height, window width, window width, window height, window height. Width, height, height. Okay, slowly. See, CPP object player. How do we get access to this stuff? And I have a lot of this stuff. Okay, so C++ reference object from within another object. Object referencing in classes. Class foo public in size. Interesting. Make sure you initialize the reference member with the member initial with the underscore member initializer. What? Instead of assigning it to it after the fact. In the constructor body, recall the reference must be initialized and cannot later be rebound. Okay. So what does he have? Class foo, class bar. Class foo, class bar. All the reference must be initialized. Okay, maybe there's a nice YouTube tutorial on the matter. That would be nice. Okay, C++. Object reference. Referencing and passing references and passing them to objects. Okay, see if this works out. C++. Pointer. Pointers. Okay. Yeah, let's take a look at this. Variables have been explained and locations computer memories could be accessed by their identifier, their names with the problem. Yeah, that's totally not what I'm looking for. So yeah, that's a big fat no. Let's go back to what I had before. Passing object over server to client. Okay. Object. Okay, so I need to try something else. I'm gonna have to ask the question in a different manner. Actually, hold on a second. Maybe I can. Let's see. Network object. Okay. So in the update script, dot in fact in here, object level ascension new x equals, and it doesn't have a new x variable, right? Has no member new x. Right. So in which case maybe I can void parse non-exist. Okay. Send non-existing variables. Yeah, sure, okay. I know, whatever you say. But I don't really even need this. If I'm gonna be doing this shit over here, I don't need to be doing this outside. Temporary variables. New x, which is a float new y, float new z. Right. So in the CPP file, all I gotta do is say new x is equals to this new x. And there we go, problem solved. Not in the best way, but it's somewhat solved. I kind of wish I could just access that variable from, you know, from the other object directly by reference. I'm sure you can do this. So if I do this and I do that, yeah, there's more variables that need to be set up. God damn it. Yeah, okay, well, it's probably easier this way. So we need to have variable wall contact and sphere hit. I'm pretty sure both of these are integers, maybe. If not, I think it'll let me know. Wall contact here, sphere hit. Here we go. So don't need this. Don't need the sphere hit. Don't need this. Pretty sure this just needs to be declared. Wall contact. Do I not have this thing in here? Yeah, I do. So just do this. And there we go. More sphere hit stuff. Okay, next up. New X, new Y, new Z. I have this. This is gonna get updated. Well, at this point, I'm pretty damn stuck at this juncture. I need to execute this code from within this level. From within this CPP. Insert snippet, surround with. Ah, man. I mean, what can I do? Am I supposed to include, maybe, the like, let's see, the player stuff, maybe. Am I supposed to include the player stuff? Maybe? I don't know. So, what? Expected identifier. No, it's this thing. Class D. No. Okay. Yeah, this can't be done. Well, all I can do now is just wait for the answers. So I'll be back. I'll take a break. If any new information comes to light, I'll return and we'll figure this out. But chances are, considering how I usually solve these issues, the solution will come to me like 8 minutes after I finish the stream. So be back.